All right, guys, happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. It's May 22nd. Now, if you don't know the story behind that, guys, there was a man who paid about 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. And yeah, that at the time was like $41. And he was actually the first person, I think, to pay for something, I guess officially, we can say, with Bitcoin. So in the end, guys, if we were looking at that today, he paid $1.11 billion for his pizzas. Now, we need to jump into Manta, not Mantra, which I did a video on last night. Don't get confused here. So, although they are almost the same price. Now, if we take a look at this flag, we do have a breakout here. Now, this is a very low time frame. It is the 1 hour time frame, guys, so this just broke out actually. Now, the target is up here at about 34.4 cents. Now, this is a daily time frame resistance, so it's not that strong. And like I always say, these green lines here, this is weekly resistances and supports. They're 7 times stronger than a daily, so just keep that in mind. But it does look like Manta still wants to go up. And, you know, if we zoom out a little bit, let's go to the at least 4 hour time frame here. We do kind of have a W pattern almost here. However, when you're looking at W patterns, usually this side is a little bit higher, and we almost have equal here. But somewhat of a W pattern has formed here, but it's not exactly a W. Now, if we take a look at these, higher lows, you can see that we are, slowly going up here. And yeah, let's take a quick look at the RSI. I want to see the relative strength index and the stochastic here. Now, let's look at the lower time frames first. It is a little bit overheated here on the Stoch and the RSI, though. So if we go to the 1 hour time frame, this is actually coming down pretty heavily on the Stoch, and it is overheated here on the RSI. 15-minute time frame, let's look at this. It is overheated on the Stoch, and it's pointed heavily to the upside on the RSI, but still in neutral territory. Now, the longer term time frames. This does look like it's curving up here on the Stoch, and it is pretty low, but it didn't go down as low as it normally goes. You can see many times it gets down here, but this only got to about, let's just say 32 before starting to curve back up. Now, the RSI is actually making higher lows. You can see this. So it still, has a ways to go before it gets into this overbought territory. Now, the weekly time frame, let's see if it's printing. Actually, it is printing. I guess this is old enough to say, that it started to print something here on the weekly. I'm sure the monthly isn't printing, though, so we're not going to look at that. But it is, actually overbought here on the Stoch, and the RSI is pointed to the upside, but it's fairly low. Now, if I take all of that information into account, I would just say probably this is going to cool down. I don't think it's going to really surge too high. Or much higher. It's probably going to, maybe at best get up here to 34 cents before it cools off, and then maybe tries for a break later. But yeah, I don't think this is going to get too much higher than we are right now. Maybe up here like you see here, before it kind of, I don't think it's going to cool down and go all the way down to where it did at 25 cents. But I think it could cool down a little bit and then try again, maybe a third time and break. Just have to wait and see. Be patient, guys. This is still a good project, I would say. There's Rand from Crypto Banter, guys. He said that this was going to be like a $400 or $500 coin. Now, that was around the time that it came out. So I just want to point that out. I don't know the stream exactly that he said it on, guys. Don't ask me. I had somebody ask me exactly to find it and point it out, but he did say it, and it shocked me. So anyways, guys, I don't think this is a $400 or $500 coin, but if we take a look at the tokenomics of Manta, guys, it's only a 1 billion max supply. So you're talking about a coin that can go several dollars at least, and maybe even to tens of dollars. But yeah, I think that this is still a good project. There's only 413 million circulating right now. You can see my average cost, I am way down, guys, but I'm not that worried about it. I do think the average cost here that I have will be overcome at some point. And yeah, I do think this is going to be a better, newer token. Now, all-time high was about $4.05, so you're getting about a 92% discount at the moment. So that's not that bad. If you want to DCA, if you have a high cost like me, that's something I'm still thinking about doing. I may just do that, here shortly. Getting some launch pool money from Binance, after probably the weekend. So I may DCA into this because this has a really high average net cost. Now, looking at Bitcoin, guys, you can see we're sitting at almost $111,000. This has already gotten up to almost $112,000. Now, keep in mind, we're almost at this target here at 115,000. And remember, this was the target. If I zoom out, let me go to the weekly. It's just easier to show you. This was the target basically from this large cup and handle that we formed, for years, guys. So if we just, take a conservative breakout point, I just put it here, guys. It could even be up here. It's very hard to pinpoint where the breakout should be. But I just wanted to be conservative, and that would put this up here at 115,000. Now, it could even be up to 120, maybe even 125 or so, guys. But my conservative target on this breakout is about 115,000. So let's see what happens. We're not there yet, but I do think 115,000 will be reached, if not by, this week, probably next week. Taking a quick look at Ethereum, guys, it is actually finally starting to break out of this flag. And let's see what happens now. This target is up here at about $3,200, guys. It does have to break through this Fibonacci level as well as this next Fibonacci level. But in my opinion, it's probably going to get stopped up here at this Fibonacci. I do probably need to, put some weekly resistances on this chart. I do have some lower down here because I haven't really put anything above yet. But anyways, we do have those Fibonacci levels to break through before we reach this target. And again, it's just a technical target, but in my opinion, it'll probably come up here to this Fibonacci and do something like this before breaking it. Now, total market cap, guys, we're at 1.25 trillion. We're just trying to break this right now. Let's see if we can do that today. If we can seal a daily candle over these weekly resistances, the longer the candle, the better, guys. So yeah, we are actually starting to push back up finally. Now, dominance is coming down today, finally. We got how many days in a row? Like 8 days in a row, and we bounced right off this 2.5-year trend line, guys. We got a huge bounce, but now it looks like we got stopped by what I call the cycle high. And I know this is technically the cycle high, but this was the high that we, made on February the 3rd, and that was like, I think, the biggest dominant surge ever. So yeah, we actually are kind of getting a rejection right here. Let's see how low we can go. We do need to break this trend line, and then we need to break 60.46, and then I'll start to celebrate, the dominance here. Now, looking at the altcoin season index, I just refreshed this before the video, guys. It was at a 16. And now it's at a 22, so that's pretty good. It's starting to come up. The dollar index actually getting a little bit of a rise right now. But yeah, nothing major or anything. Now, the liquidation heat map, there's 463 million that have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. So that's pretty elevated, but still not too bad. It's mostly shorts getting wrecked. The fear and greed, 72. If we go down here, guys, you can see since May the 9th, we've been between 70 and 74 the whole time. Now, looking at the bull market peak indicators, sell at the top, still 0 from 30 have been hit. It's still 100% whole, guys, so don't worry. The pi cycle top indicator is the best indicator in my opinion. It does look like it's starting to curve back up in my opinion. I can zoom in. You make your own decision. Write in the comments below what you think. Now, today we still have a couple more, not a couple more, we have one more speaker. They do have the Fed balance sheet still. That's not so important, but I would say, what William says could be important. Tomorrow there is, actually, I think they took off the speaker. I think they put on a speaker and they took it off and, you know, put them on, took them off. I'm not sure, but there's not really anything for tomorrow. So yeah, this is pretty much just a dead week, really, when it comes to economic news now. If we want to go ahead and look at next week, though, we do have quite a week coming up where we do have some PCE. We also got, you know, some HPI numbers. We got consumer confidence, durable goods, you know, Chicago PMI, Michigan numbers, things like this for next week, guys. So it's going to be a little bit more action-packed when it comes to macroeconomic news. Now, the FedWatch tool says we're going to get no cut probably next month, and only 5% of these people here are holding out hope that have actually, you know, I guess we can say voted for the cut. But yeah, I think we're, you know, in my opinion, there's still a lot of time, guys. Still 4 more weeks, and a lot can change. PCE next week will be very important. So let's see what happens, guys. There's plenty of macroeconomic numbers coming out before this next meeting. Now, crypto bubbles, it actually looks pretty good today. There's only a couple of reds here, a few reds, but pretty much for the most part, everything is in green. Now, if you want to stake your Manta, guys, go to Coinondo. There's 7 deals that were found. Whitebit, I don't know much about them. I have mine in Bybit, though, guys. I'm not getting much, but you just don't get a lot for Manta, unfortunately. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends, and take a look at some of the exchanges that I have below in the description. If you sign up through me, guys, and you put some money on the exchange and trade, it helps me out. It gives me a little bit of commission, I'll go ahead and be honest. And yeah, I mean, if you want to become a member of the channel, it's only for $2, guys. I'll put you in the Telegram, and I will share some of these measurements from Moodix. Now, check out Moodix, guys. It's not just about these measurements. I want to go ahead and point that out. There's a lot of charts, statistics. They write articles there, and this is really a good tool if you're, stock trading. But this can also work for crypto trading as well. But yeah, if you want to become a member, I will forward the measurements that are actually relevant to Bitcoin. I'm not going to forward every measurement, of course, because yeah. Anyways, guys, like I said, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.